Oh my god. I'm about to lose my mind. Oh my god. Camera. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this. Please. Please. Why are you a bitch? Oh. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Go away. Until later. Why not? Why are you not available? Why are you not available? You turned on. What happened? Everything crashed.
Check your USB hub. Make sure it's
It's blue.
okay.
It's blue. It's on. Why aren't you on? Oh my god. I'm gonna oh my god. Can we please, please, I beg you, please, can we not crash anymore? Can we please not crash anymore? My poor sanity and my poor head cannot take it. I wish. I understand. Just get rid of it. That just pretend that none of that ever happened. None of that ever happened. Oh my god. I tried to do something. I just tried to play a game. It said no. It said instead of crashing this time, we're just gonna crash your entire computer. That's me, I guess. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Please, just say it. What is it that I chose to save? Because the thumbnail does not look like the thumbnail that I chose. This is the thumbnail that I chose. Save this. Please, leave me alone. I need to get out of the crisis situation. Okay. Why is it just? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just leave it. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. plane crashed my whole computer. I restarted my entire computer. Got back. Everything was fine. Except now I really have to pee. Fell into the abyss.
I got juggled. Like, I got yeeted into the air by Darth Maul. Mid-air, I hit a fucking pipe over the hole. Then fucking Count Dooku comes and zaps me with his lightning. And I pause mid-air while still, like, above the pit. It's great.
Super. I was gonna offer though. I did it crash my computer again. He collect my snail.
You know who knows to fix it? What are you talking about? I go over and push a button and your camera works.
Hold on, I hit back.
You want to hop on Discord?
You want me to get on Discord?
Do you want to talk to me? Oh god. Mid-fight.
Okay. Okay. So, let's start over my entire.
This is where the stream started. What are you talking about?
Okay, so.
We just started.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of your stream.
It is. So what did I do today? And I went to work. So yeah, picked up my meds, had lunch, rang the Salvation Army bell for an hour, got off the bell 5 times, but I don't know. I don't know why. That was
Because you don't know how to hold things with your hands.
okay, listen. The bell, I was like ringing the bell like this, and I just kind of had it like loose in between like my thumb and my pointer finger, and sometimes I would just flip it out of my grasp, and so it's fine. It's fine. Also, oh, Steven, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you care enough about this. But Target sells Blackpink micro pop stars, and of course I had to get 3 because I just had to. So you guys can help me assemble them. This is Rose. I assume we couldn't really figure it out, but I'm pretty sure this one was Rose. But I have 3. I have Rose, Jenny, and Lisa. I did something Jason. And I have 2.
Oh no, she's missing the best one.
Stop.
She's missing the one everyone cares about.
She's like the sweet one. Okay. I mean, I don't think she's anyone's bias, to be honest, but I'm sure she's many people's bias. She's just not ours.
I'm sure there's a small minority of people who might care about her.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make being big right now since we're not doing anything, and then whenever we get started, I'll make myself small. This is a really awkward situation happening. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So that's exclamation mark below when I came home. And, oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's in tune.
It sounds right. It may not be right. He doesn't remember how to play anything. I can't play Billy. I don't remember anything about it.
This is just you fidgeting while you wait for the game to end.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, no. Drop everything.
Babe.
What? This is why I have to have planned videos. Oh, you're ready. You're ready for me. Invite me.
What? I mean, the game's not over.
Oh, what are you doing?
Is your game started?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, this is why I have to have planned videos because I'm not good at ad-libbing things. I'm not good at improvising things. I have to absolutely have something planned because otherwise this happens.
Why don't you talk about the game you're about to play?
And I end up rambling, and I end up just having just word vomit to fill the void.
Why don't you talk about the game you're about to play?
I have to figure out a way to segment into it, okay? Okay.
Just go for it.
Where's my thinking plate? So yeah, I'm gonna give you some backstory. Or are you done now?
I'm done. And are you giving us backstory about the game we're gonna play? No? What are you gonna start talking about?
So I was gonna give some backstory on the game. So we play Star Wars Battlefront 2. I really enjoy it. I like it. It's a chill game. My character is hella. He's not even OP because it's just my skill set. Yeah, it's just he's almost maxed out, and that's like my goal is to max out my character.
You're heavy?
My heavy.
Okay. Let's go.
I didn't get a thing. Okay. So me and Grayson used to play this game while we were dating. It was before we were dating. Right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play games with someone. My boyfriend at the time only wanted to play games that were out of my skill set for that time, and also did not have the patience to teach me how to play anything. So I found someone who did. And so we played Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I don't know why it was this game.
Mm.
I don't know why I took to it like I did. Because, like, looking at it, and from my perspective then, and probably even now, I probably would have been like, here's my heavy officer. He's level 879.
Yeah, you've played heavy a little bit. Like my highest class is I think my aerial unit. Yeah, my aerial unit is 293. It's my highest class.
Yeah.
Like I've probably got like more points than you overall, like more levels in, across the board, but not in the single class.
Alright. Our orders are to capture a semi-command post. Then we'll advance. Let's move out.
Just go for it. I mean, you can move your mic.
Yeah, but then I don't understand. It's fine. I look so horrible. My heavy is so high. And maybe somehow that but I have to.
I've died. Well, I got my fly guy, up in the air guy.
Oh my god. Why do I feel
I think that's just you.
Nina's always doing especially bad. Like, I don't remember us keeping people on the This happens.
It's because I'm milking kills in the middle instead of going to C and taking it like I normally do. I'll just go to the C and do that. You can spawn on me. Why can't you? You can spawn on me if I'm a special unit. Hello?
That was weird. That was weird. My game didn't crash, but it disappeared.
Oh, I'm hearing you in game, by the way.
How? Well, I don't know how to fix that.
It's fine.
No, it's not.
It's fine. It doesn't matter if people hear you.
It matters to me. Someone watch my live stream. Come here, come here. So anyway, I used to play this game for funsies.
I hear you this whole time, by the way.
How do I fix it?
Let's see. That's fine. Probably, because it's the in-game chat. It might be an origin thing that you have to fix.
Meh. Okay, well none of that is... Okay. Mm-mm. Mm. Mm.
What are you huffing and puffing about?
Can you still hear me?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Yay!
It's weird. Sometimes the game does it.
I disabled Origin in-game. I didn't know if that fixed it. If that was the issue, at least. Okay. I got real self-conscious. I don't like talking to strangers like that. I don't mind talking to strangers. I don't like talking to the abyss where I don't know who's listening to me. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway. So back to what I was gonna say. Which I can't even. Oh, hello, Darth Maul. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. You're welcome. I helped you. I helped you with that. I like this game a lot. I did really well at this game until I haven't played it for many months, and now I am not doing so hot. Like, if it wasn't for Grayson, I'd be in first place. But he always gets first place.
Not always.
No, that's true, but like 95% of the time you do. And I always 85% of the time get second place, and then the rest of the time get like third. And occasionally I'll get fourth, and that makes me sad. But I've gotten a lot better at this game. I really enjoy it. It was something that we kind of like... It was a game that we played together that neither of us like hated, you know? Well, cause like we played a couple of games together that like I liked the real stupid arcadey games like Fall Guys and Overcooked.
Well, I like Fall Guys, I just get frustrated with it.
Yeah, Fall Guys is not something that's fun to play.
I don't play it for I mean, I try and play it for fun, but I don't generally have fun while playing it, even though I like it.
Yeah, so I like the dumb like arcadey games like that, and so cut here. And so this was one that, because you generally don't care for those types of games, because somehow I'm really good at those types of games and Grayson is not. And so it ends up being like me being really good at the stupid games and him not being very good at the stupid games, and then him getting— I just got exploded into oblivion, and then him being really good at the games that required more brain power that I'm willing to put in. So this was just kind of a good...
Well, it's good because it's still kind of arcadey, even though it is a shooter. It's pretty arcadey.
Yeah.
It's not like, when I say arcadey, I mean it's not realistic whatsoever.
Right.
It's not like we're playing Arma 3 here or something.
Right. And it was a game that didn't require a whole lot of skill set for me, at least. Like, I found...
Or learning. It's not complicated. Yeah. Like, the most complicated thing are the skill cards, and they're not complicated at all, because it's like, this card does this, and this is why it's good.
Yeah.
And you haven't touched your skill card since I built you the heavy anyway, so...
Yep. That is absolutely correct. I don't mess with the things like that. Listen, I am one of those people who I absolutely do not do the games where you have to like upgrade your person and your weapons and your skills. I'm really not good at skill trees. The only skill trees that I was good at were the ones in like Tomb Raider and the Jedi game.
Fallen Order.
Yes.
You liked Fallen Order, didn't you?
I did like that game. And those were the only games that had skill trees that were easily comprehensible for me. Yeah. That were really simple. Because you sat down, you looked at the skill tree, and it was basically just a map. And that way I didn't have to think too hard about it. And to me it was more of like I'll just follow the map. Really, instead, like, I paid minimal attention to what I was actually unlocking, but to me it was like a weird completionist where I just wanted the map to be full. And so those games are the only games where I pay attention to the skill tree. Every other game I really don't. Like, I played Spider...
Well, I was gonna say the Batman game where you didn't even realize it was a thing.
Yeah, so I did that a little bit with Batman, or with Spider-Man, but I did that a lot with Batman. So when Arkham Knight... No. Yeah?
Yeah, Arkham Knight is the one you played a bunch.
Oh, hella Grievous. No. Okay, well, I just got zippy zapped, it's fine. Yeah, when Arkham Knight came out, I bought it. I played it. It got to a point where it was becoming really difficult. And it was one of those where I got really frustrated and I had to just stop and chill out and come back to it in like a day or two. And I realized pretty much like 90% through the game that I had the option to upgrade my weapons and my armor. I didn't know that. So I pretty much played the entire game with whatever they gave me at the start. So, yeah, I don't do skill trees.
Big brain.
Yeah, and I did that with Spider-Man, like, because I remember there was a point where you came in and were like, you can upgrade your shit, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
It wasn't super far in though.
Yeah.
You were maybe like 2 hours in.
Yeah, but if you wouldn't have told me, I probably wouldn't have done it. And I probably would have just been like that, man, where I just got to a point in the game where I was like, this is really difficult, and it seems like it's getting harder than it should be. And then you would have come in and been like, why did you not upgrade anything? So, I don't do good with not even complicated games, just like...
It's just you don't like reading the thing. For whatever reason, you can't comprehend the stats, like...
Yeah.
It can be pretty simple and you're like, I don't get it. I'm like... What?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
weird,
understand.
like, what my brain understands and what it doesn't. And like,
It's because you don't give a shit about it, so you don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like I don't care enough about it to want to understand it, and so I just don't. So I'm just like, yeah, nah.
I was mindlessly playing. I got 140.
Nice.
Just like
Yeah.
listening to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's great.
I can't blow this candle out. Do you want me to order you dinner?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? I'm getting hungry too.
I don't know. I quit.
Oh my, excuse me, everybody.
Nice.
I'm so used to doing that.
Just normally, every day, you do it, and you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
What do you want for din din?
What are the options? What do you want? What sounds good to you?
I can spin the wheel.
Sure.
Sure. Go for it. What did it
I don't
end
like
on?
what it gave me.
Taco Bell? Wow, you just don't like Taco Bell.
I do like Taco Bell, but Taco Bell never
you-
gets my order right.
You're never
never in the mood for it either, it seems like.
Well, because they never get my order. Like, I like Taco Bell, but I don't like the process, because I feel like if I want Taco Bell, I get excited about wanting Taco Bell, and then I get what I get, and it's not what I want, and then I get depressed, and then I'm like, I don't want this. I didn't ask for this, I don't want it, and now I'm not in the mood for it anymore. And so now I'm just like,
We'll take it off the thing.
well, maybe one of these days. Just one of those days. You just want to give up.
What is it this time?
It's sushi, and I don't want sushi.
Why are you spinning the wheel? Just pick something you want.
Okay. I really wish. Here's the thing. I have a very generally fair amount of subscribers. No one likes me. Like, I have like almost 3,000 subs. I know that's not a lot, but like, I have one person in my chat.
I mean, seems about right.
I guess here, just.
You know, when
PewDiePie streams, he's got like, you know, what is he at, 115 million subs? He streams and he gets, you know, 20,000, 30,000.
I guess.
I don't know, he might get more. I haven't seen one of his streams in a while. I mean, I saw that he was streaming Cyberpunk today, but I didn't watch it. I think he had 23,000 people, or something like that.
I don't know. But,
What did you get?
I didn't get anything. I handed it to you for you to choose. Choose Din Din. So yeah, I don't know what to talk about, man. I'm gonna have to put something in the description. I'm sorry that I suck at life. Here. Hello. Hello. I'm getting close to redlining my mic and I don't wanna. So yeah, I have an incredibly boring life. If anyone has noticed, I don't do anything besides go to work and come home and eat and clean. I did a lot of cleaning today. I cleaned up like the trash and did a bunch of recycling. A recycling came today and they picked it up and I filled it right back up this afternoon. So recycling bin is now full again, and it sucks because recycling only comes every other week. So, and now I can't put anything else in my recycle bin until 2 weeks from now, which is great. God, I don't know. My brain is having a real hard time today. But my brain is like that pretty much every day. I started my new medicine today. So...
How long is that gonna take to do anything?
I don't know, to be honest. But I looked it up. It's not specified specifically to treat ADHD. Do you know what it's specified to treat? A major depressive disorder? So I don't know why. She just gave me like basically a second antidepressant. Cause I'm already on an antidepressant. She gave me a second one to take once a day. So I'm like, okay, I don't understand. Because she doesn't want to prescribe me a stimulant medication yet. Because I still have to go see a psychologist to have the complete evaluation done. Because I had what I considered an evaluation with my therapist. I asked her about it and I said, can you do this? She said yes, so we did it, and she checked all the boxes that pretty much confirmed that I had ADHD. But my psychiatrist was like, no, you have to go to like a medical place. like Baptist Health or like Novant, and I was like, oh, okay. So I have to do that, and I guess they do, I don't know what kind of test they do, but I guess it's a lot more extensive, and I think it's like a computer test. I don't know. I'm real concerned about it because I don't like doing new things like that. But yeah, so my psychiatrist says she didn't want to prescribe me a stimulant medication until she knew, like, on paper that I had a proper diagnosis, I guess, because because it's a slippery slope when you have ADHD and you have like general anxiety in life, because when you add a stimulant to that, when you add a stimulant to try to treat your ADHD, it can increase your levels of anxiety. And so she's, I don't know. What are you doing?
Thing.
Okay. East Coast wings. Emily wants... Do I want wings? Is it gonna hurt my tongue? I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I have an inflamed taste bud on the tippy tip of my tongue, and it hurts.
You did.
Well, I don't know if I mentioned it on this one. You know? But anyway, I have an inflamed taste bud on the tippy tip of my tongue. So saying words where I have to use my tongue, like T's, and especially the thes, like the THs, because it's on the tip of my tongue, so every time it hits, it kind of hurts. And I get them a lot. I get them enough to know that this isn't even the worst of it. It's gonna get worse, and then it'll get better. And that's always how it is with my mouth injuries. I get canker sores. Not as often as I used to, but more often than I'd like to have them. If I bite my lip, it is guaranteed canker sore. And, or bite my cheek or anything like that, guaranteed. And the thing about me, I don't know what's wrong with my body, but instead of it, you know, just being like small and just kind of irritated, it like flares up real bad. So it always gets worse and then it gets better. But anyway, do I want hot wings, or is it going to upset my tongue? Maybe I'll just get loaded fries and I'll just eat that. Also, I've been feeling, you know what, this is just going to be therapy hour. How about that? That's things I can talk about for an ungodly amount of time.
I mean, the
video doesn't have to be
ungodly
length
length
either.
I feel like this video has to have some sort of substance to it, though. I've been streaming for 41 minutes, and I feel like I have talked about absolutely nothing that matters. I'm really upset with today. I'm very disappointed with myself. It's okay, though. I have to learn to be patient with myself, because very often I'm not. I don't want any sauces. Why are you making me choose a sauce? I don't care.
I just
I
choose
just
the
choose the
cheese
cheese
sauce.
sauce. Sounded good.
I just picked ranch.
Craft beer cheese sauce.
Yeah, it did sound good.
Is this really,
a
a vlog?
vlog?
Is this really part of Vlogmas? If you're streaming? Is this cheating?
It's cheating.
Yes,
Are you cheating?
absolutely. I am 100% cheating, and I'm sorry. I didn't think about what to do today because honestly, I didn't do much today, and I thought that. I don't know. I got in the cleaning mood and I started cleaning the house, and I just didn't want to. Because that's not. That's just equally as uninteresting as this. And I know that.
Do you want
You want to play Fall Guys?
I don't care. We can do whatever. But it's fine. Also I've been playing Animal Crossing again. Again. In terms of like I played Animal Crossing when it first came out. I bought my Switch and everything just so I could play New Horizons because I was super excited about it.
Yeah, you were.
I was so excited. I bought my
pre-ordered it just so you could get the notebook, and then you didn't want to wait for Target to ship it to you, and so you went ahead and bought it. Mm-hmm. The digital copy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so oh my god. So I really wanted to play Animal Crossing because I played Wild Worlds and New Leaf, so I really liked Animal Crossing. And I was really excited for New Horizons to come out. And when it did, of course, I played it, and I played it a lot. And granted, my island wasn't as good as some of the other people's islands that I've seen. Like, I've seen, incredible.
Yeah, everybody, like anybody who's actually like played Animal Crossing and looked at other people's islands, there are some insane islands out there.
Yeah, they're like literal cities. They're like so perfectly mapped out in a way that I just don't have the creative capability of doing.
And yet, the city planner for our town was on bath salts.
Yeah.
Every stoplight is uphill.
Yeah, downtown. Yeah, so driving downtown in a manual, it just isn't fun. But yeah, so while my town in Animal Crossing is not glorious, I did a lot of work on it, and I put in a lot of work, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun. But then I kind of ran out of things to do.
Well, then you weren't playing it for you as well. Like, you're playing it for the stream too. Like, when you first got it, that's all you were doing was streaming Animal Crossing, and
Yeah.
you're just trying to advance your island and make it look as pretty as possible, and like do what everybody else was doing.
Right, and it's like I wanted this really nice aesthetic island, and I really wanted to like do all of that, but I think I got to a point where I was burnt out on it, and also like I couldn't spend hours on it anymore. Like when you first start the game, like you can spend hours doing things like catching fish and getting money and getting your miles and all of that, and then you can upgrade to a better house. But I had already done all of that. I had already gotten the biggest house I could get. I had gotten all the crafts that I could buy or see. The other ones just fell from the sky or came in bottles, or you talk to the townspeople. So it's like I did everything.
So you start playing mine.
And then I started playing on Grayson's Island, and I put my own person on his island, and I was really excited about it. Because I was like, oh,
I didn't play nearly as much as she did. Like, I played it on and off, like, occasionally, like, before going to bed and stuff like that. Like, I only had one room in my house when she started on mine.
Yeah. And
had
that
the
wasn't
main
even that
room.
long ago. That was like maybe
Yeah.
a month or so ago. And he's had it too since it came out.
Well, no, we gave away. Never mind.
Yeah.
We both got the digital copy.
Yeah, like the day it came out.
Yeah.
Oof, that was close. So yeah. I started playing on his island because it gave me more to do, and I was like, great, I have more goals now. I can, upgrade stuff on his island, and I built my own little house on his island, and I was like, great, and I was really excited, and it was really nice. I mean, it worked out really well in terms of like getting me back into Animal Crossing. But then the update for winter came out, and I got really excited because
Christmas.
Christmas! I have to figure out how to get the dogs though. Like, I don't know how you get them, but I haven't gotten one. And Marzia has 2. Like, what the heck, Marzia?
You gotta start building creepy Furby Barbies, and then that's when you are allowed access to the plush dogs.
Apparently. So, yeah, because I've been into the Nook shop every day. I have to check today, but I've been into it. No, I did check today because I played it at work. And it's just like I haven't gotten anything new in like the past 3 days. And I'm like, what the heck, man? But I've been playing Animal Crossing again on like a more regular basis just because I really am excited about the Christmas update, and I played the not Thanksgiving, but what was it, Turkey Day? The Turkey Day update. I played that. I was really pleased with that update. So, I'm
Or as
very...
YouTube calls it, unthanksgiving. Because what the fuck, YouTube? Did you see that?
No.
The whole Twitter post, was it? Or, I think it was, yeah, it was YouTube on Twitter. They were trying to raise awareness for, like, Native Americans and, like, the struggles they still go through. So, they basically tried canceling Thanksgiving, and it backfired so hard, everybody was like, shut the fuck up. Fix your platform and stop tweeting.
It's like when PETA threw shade at Steve Irwin and the entire internet was like, nah fam. You know,
Yeah,
fucks
and-
with Steve Irwin.
Like, even a bunch of Native Americans commented on the YouTube post, or the Twitter post, and they're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, it's about, spending time with family and loved ones. It's not about this. Just stop.
Right. Like, no one...
They're trying to politicize it, and YouTube's
Right.
trying to be woke about it. It's
Right, like, no
nobody-
one thinks about that during Thanksgiving. Like, that's not, like, yeah, maybe that's where it started. Maybe the origin of Thanksgiving was not, like,
Well, the origin of Thanksgiving was
fantastic.
the Pilgrims having that dinner with the natives after the natives taught them how to plant corn and shit, or unless that's just what they tell kids in school.
Right, like,
That's
I
what
don't know,
remember it
like,
was.
right, but I don't know. I don't know the specifics. I
I'm not into that
understand.
history.
Right.
I don't care for early American history.
Yeah. So, yeah, but most people now think of Thanksgiving as literally just eating food and being
And
with
spending
family.
time with family and being thankful that you have family and people to spend time with. Mm-hmm. We're not like Thanksgiving. So happy that England colonized the U.S. and
I'm so happy for the
conquered.
genocide of so many Native Americans. Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks that way. It's like Christmas, Like, Christmas was, technically a religious holiday. Not everyone celebrates Christmas, obviously, but a lot of non-Christian people celebrate Christmas. A lot of atheists celebrate Christmas because to them it's not about, the birth of Christ. It's about spending time with family and getting presents. Which is just the commercialized Christmas.
Nobody disowns Christmas because everybody gets free shit, and it's capitalism. Nobody disowns it because companies profit off of it.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't profit off of Thanksgiving.
So yeah, but speaking of Christmas, I finished all my Christmas shopping and I'm really happy about it. And I finished like a couple weeks ago. I bought everyone their Christmas gifts and they're all wrapped and under our tree. And
I still need to wrap yours.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go by your parents and do that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. I can probably wrap a box.
You can wrap a box. So yeah, I wrapped all of my presents except for your dad's. I haven't wrapped his yet because I'm mildly afraid to put it under the tree because
The cats.
because of the cats, because it's food.
We'll just get a bag and like save a bag and some the wrapping tissue or bag tissue, whatever it is.
No, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm just not. Oh, and I have to
Gonna
wrap
wrap it the day of.
Yeah, or like the day before. I'll do that. And then I still have to wrap your mom's gift, but that's it. So pretty much everyone's stuff is done.
Get under the door, damn it.
And then your birthday is this weekend.
Yep,
Which-
thanks for the reminder.
What? You're not excited for your birthday?
I never am.
Why not?
I don't care about me. I don't.
Well, I care about you. I mean, I don't think people care about their birthday because they're getting older. I think they get excited because it's like Christmas. You can spend time with friends and family
Actually,
and
my
you get
birthday's
gifts.
never been like Christmas because I get shit presents. It's like,
Because-
okay, we're gonna have to cheap out on your birthday because Christmas, or vice versa.
Jeez. Yeah, except when it comes to me.
Yeah, except for you. No, my parents were always that way though.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe part of that, maybe I should be more like that, but because technically speaking, it's more fiscally responsible. But Emily's never been fiscally responsible.
I think it's a fiscal excuse to not get me something expensive.
Yeah, but regardless, it's like
Well, because they would spend the money if it wasn't so close to Christmas.
yeah.
Because they have to get other people things. And they're like, well, I'll just hold off on getting you something.
I guess. But even then, like, I bought people gifts this year. That I didn't.
I'm not saying you were like that.
I know what you're saying. I'm just.
December birthday people, where you at?
How do you feel about your birthday?
Even January birthday people, because it's Christmas is close enough to January.
Yeah, like people who are born like January 1st, like even early.
January is closer to Christmas than my birthday is.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I haven't quite figured out this this trauma response in my brain yet, but I feel like I don't know how to properly show love and affection. So my way to do that is to buy things for people.
You'll love me if I buy gifts, right?
Yeah, that's like how my brain thinks, and I'm not sure exactly why that is. Like, I don't know why I think like, oh, if I get them something, they'll like me. And if they're mad at me and I get them something, they'll stop being mad at me and they'll love me again. I don't know where that came from. Oh.
Yeah.
So-
No, people actually like you more if you get them to do favors for you.
What do you mean?
If you get somebody to do a favor for you,
Oh.
that person likes you more because I don't know the what's the word? The psychology behind it, but apparently it's a thing.
Oh, that's interesting because I absolutely hate asking people to do favors for me. And that's
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's a small favor that you play up as like something really important to you, and then they do it, they like you more. It's weird.
it is weird.
You'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
I heard about it. I don't know a ton about it. I just I've heard it several times.
Yeah, like I know for a fact that I don't know what it is. I absolutely hate asking favors from people. I hate asking any sort of favor, any monetary favor, any the only, I guess, like I wouldn't even call it a favor really. The only thing that I request from people is like, hey, can you hand me that? Like that's like the biggest favor that I would ask a person.
Except if it's me and I live here, then you ask me to do all kinds of things.
Yeah, except if it's you. Because I'm comfortable with you, and I don't mind asking you to do things for me. But even then, I don't ask you to do big things. Like, I just ask you to do normal stuff, like, can you help me clean or take out the trash? Like... And the biggest favors I ask of you, really, are just things that I'm incompetent about. Like, hey, can you figure out why this thing isn't working? Because I don't understand. Because I am an idiot.
Hey, can you figure out why my camera's not working? I don't know. Turn the button off on the USB hub and turn it back on again. But it's blue. It means it's on. I go over and do it, and it works.
Yeah, well...
Like, I had a feeling it would work. It just needed to be reset. It didn't matter if it was... the little LED was working or not.
I know. But... like at work, when I used to live with John and Debbie, like, I could ask them for so much more than I do. But I never do. Because I don't like... Because for me, if I ask someone...
Wow, I didn't come in first place this time.
I know,
What the
I did
hell?
real bad. To me, it's like if I ask someone for a favor, then I internalize this idea that I now owe them. And I feel like I don't want to owe anyone anything.
Well, that's why you ask for like a small favor, and then but make it seem like it's a small favor. You know it is, and you know it'd be real easy for them to do it, but you make it seem like it's worth a lot to you. Like I don't know what it like. I don't have an example. I can't think of an example off the top of my head. But like asking John to bring something to work that he has at the house or something like that, and it's not much for him to do, but like if you make it seem like it's a big deal to you, I don't know. It's apparently a thing.
Yeah, but it's just, I feel like then, like, I don't know, I just have this idea of like, okay, now I owe them something. Because they did this thing for me, now I owe them something in return. And so...
I don't... Well, it depends on how big the favor is.
I guess, but I feel like technically
Because
speaking...
they can always say no, too. Like, it's not... Do me a favor.
Right.
It's like if they don't want to owe you anything, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they don't...
Yeah, and that's
have
the
to
other
do
thing,
it.
is like, technically speaking, it's like you don't owe anyone anything anyway. It's like, yeah, you could ask them to do something major for you and they can agree to it, but that still doesn't mean at the end of the day that you owe them anything back for it. Like, unless it's money, you know?
Yeah.
But like, you don't owe them any favors in return. It's maybe more courteous, but you technically...
Like, hey, remember that one time I did something nice for you? Yeah. Well, can I cash in that favor? What do you mean? You did something nice for me. I didn't ask you to do that.
Right.
Like...
So it's like, yeah, you don't technically owe anyone anything. And I doubt there's going to be a person who's going to be like, hey, I did you a solid, do me a solid. In general circumstances. In very specific circumstances, I can see where that would come up. But in everyday circumstances, it's like people would do that. But I just, I don't know, I just have this thought that like, I don't want to owe anyone anything, so therefore I will not ask for help.
At a certain point, it gets annoying though. Like if you have a coworker or something that is constantly asking like you to do, even if it's little things, but like just constant, non-stop. Hey, can you do this little thing? Can you do that little thing? Could you maybe do this one big thing? Could you do this little thing? And then they never do anything for you. That's when it's like, okay, stop. That's when I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do you any favors because it's just annoying at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I figured out why. So I sit next to this lady, and she's a very old lady.
Very old.
She's not very old, but she's
just old.
She's just old.
She's just average old.
She's an average old lady. But I sit next to her at work, and she's very loud and very
gross. My words. Gross.
So yeah, she is not
hygienic.
I mean, not even that. It's not like she's dirty or that like she smells. It's just that she makes a lot of sounds with her mouth.
I bet her hand smells.
Oh yeah. So anyway, so I sit next to this lady at work, and she burps all the time, so loudly.
Like those burps smell.
And she chews her food so loudly, like full on, just mouth open the entire time. Super, yeah, just super wet sounds. And listen, I like mukbangs, I like ASMR eating videos, but there is a time and a place. It's weird because I will watch the ASMR eating videos, but if someone is doing that next to me...
Well, is the time and place not in the middle of a workday at your cubicle?
Yeah.
Is that not the time or place? What do you mean?
Yeah, so, like I choose to watch the ASMR videos. I choose when and where, and I expect that from the video because that's what I picked. I do not consent for my ears to be assaulted in that way when I'm trying to get my work done. So, yeah, so I sit next to her. She does this very often, burps very loudly, asks me to take the lights off of her keyboard because her caps lock is on.
Take the light off. What do you mean take it off? Take the light off. Bitch, press the caps lock button.
The light goes
And that's
off.
also why your password's been wrong the last 40 times you try to put it in, because your caps lock was on. So you didn't even reset your password. You make a whole new account, you weirdo.
Yeah, so she was trying to log into her Facebook because she honestly only works there mostly just because she needs the money, and her daughter is the owner's wife. So the owner is her son-in-law. So she really needs that type of job, and also because
She'd get fired if she worked anywhere else.
I was about to say, I very firmly believe that if she were to try to get employed at any other place, she would be promptly let go. But
it's a shame because now everybody has to deal with her just because it's the CEO's mother-in-law.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, I get it, you know, you want to provide for your family, and if that's what you gotta do, then that's what people will choose to do, and that's their
I'd
problem.
rather just give her money than make her, make everybody else deal with her.
Yeah, but then they gotta feel like, you know, you gotta you gotta earn your work, I don't know, you gotta earn it. Anyway, so I sit next to her. She asks me to do very odd things. Oh, I was talking about Facebook. Sorry, I got distracted and blown up.
God, Chewbacca just yeeted me.
Yeah. So,
Is that you too?
yep. What are you doing? Where are you? Why are you here? You are so far away. So yeah, so I was sitting next to her, and she asked me, she's trying to log into her Facebook account, and her password kept coming up that it was incorrect. And instead of resetting it, instead of, you know, trying to fix it.
Forgot my password, and then going to her email and changing it.
Yeah, so she calls her daughter, who's not at work that day because she's taking care of stuff at home because our kids are being, you know, Zoom schooled. So she's dealing with that and whatnot. So, God, I'm really struggling over here.
Same though.
So she calls her and she's like, I can't get into my Facebook. And I could tell just by the conversation, you know, what the daughter is saying on the other side of the line. And the conversation goes something like this. I can't get into my Facebook. Did you write your password down? No. You need to help me. I can't help you right now. I'm busy. I'm trying to help the kids with school. Well, I'll just make a new account then. And she's like, okay. You don't need to do that. Just, I don't know. So, basically, she was just going to make an entirely new Facebook account because she had her caps locks on, and that's why her password was incorrect. And then she asked me to take the light off of her keyboard.
That's how useful she is to this company.
She does things. Not a lot of things. Some things. Some things that, you know, could easily be done by other people. But
Things that could be done by you, like, and it wouldn't even add that much to your workload.
yeah. Like she does things like order more coffee if we're running low on like keg pods or whatever.
Keg pods?
K-pods.
K-pods.
The Keurig pods. The K-pods.
I thought you said keg.
Oh.
Keg pot? The fuck?
So she'll do that. She'll order, you know, more Keurig pods, and she'll order like supplies like Post-its, notes, or staples, or, you know, random stuff like that.
Or paper clips. Now they have dozens and dozens and dozens of boxes of paper clips, but she continues to order them. She orders more than they use.
Yeah, so she does stuff like that, and that's pretty much the gist of her job for, you know, the most part. And even today, like, she came into work. She mostly spends time like looking at Facebook or browsing really expensive jewelry for some reason. She looks at really expensive rings, and then she leaves early because she has a wonderful wound on her wrist. So
I don't know. If you can't tell, I'm a little salty because they have, you know, they have the money to hire her, but not me.
yeah, he's a little upset because we had an intern position open up for our IT department, and Grayson would have been really good at the job, and he also would have been really good as a help desk person, just because he knows a lot about general computer stuff and, you know, fixing, troubleshooting things. And Kent, who is our IT guy, he is more important. He has a more important job than, you know, helping me because my trackpad is messing up, which is completely my own fault. He has to do stuff like programming and coding and things like that, so it's a very important job, but, you know, it would be nice to have someone to help him do, you know, the normal troubleshooting, like help Georgia figure out the reason why she can't sign into her computers because her caps lock is on. Like, I feel like, to me, you know, if Kent hired a second person, he could easily, you know, spend more time doing his actual job, which is coding and programming, and not spend time doing useless stuff like helping me or Georgia when we have stupid questions. So the idea of an intern came up, and Grayson went and did an interview with Kent. It seemed like it went really well, and he seemed like it was a position that he was really interested in, and I know that he needs help because he's the only person in the IT department. And so it seemed like a very solid opportunity for Grayson. And then he decided to hire his son.
Yeah, nah, fam. Let me hire my 18-year-old son who has no experience. Because son.
Yes, nepotism. Like my boss said, nepotism runs rampant in the company, and it does. Which, you know, it is what it is, you know? Is it the best? Maybe not. Does it work? It's, I guess. So, yeah. And on top of that, his son is currently his active intern, and he's hiring a programmer next year as well, who I'm pretty sure has already been picked out, but he just isn't official yet. Excuse you, whoever's doing that, Ray, or, yeah, okay, thanks, Ray, thanks, BB-8.
Okay, fuck you, bitch. Get away from me.
Oh, God.
Mike, I have unanswered questions that just don't make any sense to me.
What?
Like why you would hire a son who's going to be leaving shortly for college anyway, and you know, I've got plenty of experience doing IT stuff, not in a workplace, but as a hobby, basically, building PCs and troubleshooting as I build them.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so Grayson's a little upsetty spaghetti about it. And I am too. Like, I'm not thrilled with that choice. Like, obviously I would like Grayson to work at the same company, not with me, but you know, in the same place, and go to work together, be cute, be like Jim and Pam, you know. But and I think that he's more than well equipped to handle the job, and I think that I don't know, I just because
it's like I feel like he didn't hire me because I didn't know anything at the time about coding or programming, which is not what I was trying to be hired for.
right.
And yet he's gonna teach his son how to do it. I'm like, bro, it's gonna teach you it's gonna take you just as long, if not longer, because I've got, you know, I feel like I probably have more experience than this kid. Unless his kid started when he was fucking 2 years old, I've got more computer experience. And I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, Ray, fuck off.
Yeah, and I feel like you're a quick learner, you have very good extensive knowledge of just computers in general. So yeah, I feel like you would have been a really good fit, but that obviously isn't my decision to make. I can't, you know, I am not in control of who gets hired. I am only, oh my god, you just battery ripped the shit out of me.
Wrecked.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, couldn't hurt to put in a good word with the CEO at you know, lunches and stuff like that, but
Well, here's the thing though, is I can do that all day, but the plan for hiring people has been laid out already. Like, they've already planned how many people they want to hire, when they want to hire them, you know. They've already budgeted out the amount of people that they want to hire, and I'm pretty sure Ryan knows a majority of who he wants anyway. Because, like, obviously, the majority of those hires, aside from me and the programmer, are gonna be, you know, sales reps and people in the engineering section, people in quality and that kind of stuff, people in product testing, like those are the main people that he's focused on hiring. But
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you looked at my resume, you'd see that I, did retail face-to-face sales for 10 years, but whatever.
I know, sweetheart. But listen, I still have hopes for you, okay? I still got hopes.
I'm just tired of sitting around and waiting.
I know you are. I know it's a frustrating... Stop, Ray. You do that and then you run away from me. Like...
Fucking kill me if you're gonna kill me!
If you're gonna do that, at least swing at me. Don't do that and make me move in the direction I don't want to move and then run away from me.
Just to fuck with you.
Yeah, I know it's frustrating. But it is what it is. Anyway, that was a lot.
If you're not gonna hire me, just tell me you're not gonna hire me. Instead of making me wait and wonder, well, is it gonna happen?
I know. It is frustrating. But it is what it is. Wow, I didn't come in last. Surprisingly. Our food's here, by the way. Do you want me to get it?
I can get it.
Okay.
We need to...
I need to wrap this up because it's getting long.
This has been a rant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully no one you know watches this.
John
that's
might,
not
but
what-
John already knows.
Yeah.
John
John goes and tells, hey everybody, Emily's got a YouTube channel. You should all go watch. Watch her Vlogmas series.
My YouTube channel is... I do not want the people in my office to see my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, there's things worse than me ranting about not getting a job there.
There absolutely is.
On this channel.
Yeah. The hard thing too about, like, at least for me where I work is... Can you go grab the food just because it's cold outside?
Cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want the food to get cold. Is I'm a very introverted person, which for some reason I feel like, an office job is good for that. As long as you're not working in sales, you have to talk to people a lot. But I've learned very quickly that a lot of people in the office are very chatty. And I'm really bad at it. And a lot of people are very open about, like, their life. Like, there's this one girl in our office, and she just, like, tells everyone all the things that are going on in her life, and they're, like, super personal. And I don't know, like, I'm not comfortable with that idea of sharing my outside life with work life people. So it's really hard for me to, like, talk to people and try to get to know people because I am not a very personable person. I don't, communicate well with strangers. Like, that's really awful, but I don't. I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at talking to people. I'm really bad at trying to get to know people, and easily as bad as trying to get to know. It's really hard to get to know me on a personal basis just because I'm horrendously awkward and I don't know how to talk to people. What are you doing? Bubby! Okay, I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, it's really hard for me to try to open up to strangers, and it's weird because I can do it on the internet just fine, but doing it in person is just... And also I don't have this weird privacy thing too, where I don't want people to know what's going on in my life, because I feel really uncomfortable with that idea. of people knowing things about me. Oh, what were you doing? Oh,
I had to go pee.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but I don't know. I wish I could talk to people. I wish I could be more chatty, you know? Like there, I was talking about this girl in the office who, like, just tells people, like, her life. Like, all the things. Like, today she came in and just, like, okay, so here's like a normal conversation with, like, a person, right? It's like, hey, how are you? Doing good. How are you? Doing great. Great. How's whatever? It's alright. It's doing fine. Cool. Well, I'll see you around. Okay. That to me is a normal work conversation. And that to me is a normal person conversation unless there's someone you're close with. Like, generally speaking, even then, like, 99% of the time, if someone asks me how I'm doing, my automatic response is I'm doing fine. That may be a complete lie. And most days it probably is. But that's just a general response because I feel like most people don't really care that deeply enough if you tell them, like, that you're having a bad day. I feel like people will show it and be like,
Well, people just want to, like, they have the courtesy, or it's just a courtesy thing to ask how somebody's doing. Like, I don't think it's ever expected for somebody to be like, I'm doing awful, can you help me?
yeah,
Like, because especially from a workplace colleague, that's not a thing.
yeah. And so, anyway, so today, and I feel uncomfortable about, not necessarily about sharing this, but just because, like, I want to keep my job. So this is my home life, okay? I'm allowed to do what I want. I'm not sharing any names or, I mean, I shared our IT guy's name, but that was a slip up and then I just had to go with it. People don't know where I work though, and it's fine. So I'm not giving any, you know, major identifying qualities. But I was standing in John's office and she comes by and John's like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, good. She's like, yesterday was really weird. And he goes, yeah. She goes, yeah, I had a panic attack. I'm like, and here's the thing. I have anxiety. I do. I hate it. Not just the anxiety, but I hate talking about it. I hate talking about it. I hate the word itself. I hate when other people talk about it. I don't know what it is. Like, in my brain, I just want to pretend that it doesn't exist. And I'll shove it away. And I'll push it down. Because I just want to pretend that it doesn't exist. So I don't like when other people talk about it. Which, it should be fine to talk about. People should feel comfortable to talk about it. I don't know why. I hate talking about it. I don't personally care for it when other people talk about it. But yeah, so she was talking about, like, yeah, I was, you know, not feeling good, and I decided to go home, and then, like, my heart started racing, I couldn't breathe, and she was like, I was, like, hyperventilating, and whatever, and I'm, like, standing there this entire time, and I'm like, listen. And I didn't ask for that. I don't think John asked for that. That wasn't really the direction that I wanted the conversation to go. And then you know, everyone starts getting on the topic of, like, and then John's like, oh yeah, like, this one time, this is when I had a panic attack, and I'm like, can we like, it's just, I don't like it. It makes me really uncomfortable. And I don't know why that is, but it makes me really uncomfortable. But she was standing in the doorway, so I couldn't just leave. So I had to stand there and just stare at the fish tank and just ignore the things that were happening. And so, yeah, and so I was standing there and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna let it happen and let that conversation go. And then John goes, have you ever had a panic attack? I'm like, oh, John. And this is like, I don't like personal questions like that. Don't ask me questions like that. Like, yeah, fam. I live in a constant state of anxiety. But it's fine. I have controlled substances to help me through it. But I just prefer not to talk about it. I prefer not to deal with it. I prefer not to discuss it. I don't know why it makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. But to me, it's like I keep all that stuff to myself. I deal with it the best that I can, and I tell no one. And maybe that's not a great way to cope with things. But that's what I do. What?
No.
Are you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say that generally, I don't want to know people that I work with like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. Like, it sounds rude, but like, no, it's like when I leave here, I don't want to have to be worried about you, or not you necessarily, but about the coworker. It's like I don't want to have to go home and be say like, oh, I hope Jolene is doing fine.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too. Is
The less I know, the better.
yeah, and I have a really odd thing too about I really don't empathize with people very well.
Nope.
I'm really bad at it. I don't know what it is. It's like I have absolutely almost no empathy for other people. But I have a lot of empathy for things that are inanimate and for animals. It's really hard for me to empathize with other people. And I don't know why that is. I think it's a comfort thing. I think it makes me really uncomfortable. Like when people are upset, like when someone's crying. Bitch, I don't want to be there. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be that friend that's gonna be like, oh my god, what's wrong, you okay? I will be that person who tries to find a way to quietly leave. Like, if I'm in a group of people, I will absolutely leave. If it is a one-on-one situation and someone starts crying, oh my god. I will be that person who sits there silently and says absolutely nothing. I will not touch you. I will not even look at you. Just don't. It makes me really uncomfortable. I'm really bad at empathizing with people. Maybe something is wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe that's just another thing to tick off on the gigantic list of things that are wrong with me. Is that I'm really bad at empathizing with people. So yeah, I don't care. Like, and I know that sounds mean, but I don't care about people like that. I don't care about my coworkers like that. I don't, honestly, this is gonna sound really bad. Honestly, I don't care about a lot of my family like that. Like, I can count on less than one hand how many people I would be genuinely sad if they died. And like, and that includes like friends, family. Like, I don't have a lot of friends, okay, but I have a couple. I have a lot of family. I have a lot of people that I know. Don't care. And that's horrible. And that's so bad. But I don't know what it is. I just can't. I don't know.
Yeah,
All your family watching this video now are gonna be like, I bet I'm on that list. I'm one of those five people.
Less than 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I wasn't,
Technically, I mean, it'd be
if it's less than
5. You're saying what, 4 people roughly?
Well, so then it's
really down to only 3 people because I'm one of them.
you are absolutely one of them. And you know that for a fact.
Yeah,
Because I'm the only person you ever
seem to empathize
with.
Mm-hmm. It's like this weird thing where all of my ability to care and empathize goes only towards one person. It's like I latch onto that one person, and that's where all of my attention goes to. That's where all my empathy goes into. That's where all of my care and my love and affection goes into. And then everyone else,
Maybe you should spread that out a little bit.
I don't know how to. Like, because, so that's the one thing about, like, about narcissists, about, sociopaths, is you can't, it's not treatable, really, because you can't teach someone how to feel something, you know? Like, you can teach them what empathy means, but that doesn't mean that they're going to feel empathy. You can't teach someone how to feel that emotion.
I have a question though. Like, sorry, I'm making this about me, but like, I'm. Why is this turning into a podcast?
I told you. You should start a podcast. Let me know. I really want to, but.
So, but like when I watch the like sappy videos on YouTube, or even like movies and stuff, like when I get really into the drama of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I like tear up and stuff like that, and I feel a lot of empathy for like in those situations, both like when it's sad, also when somebody's sad, or when somebody's super happy and crying out of happiness. Like I tear up, and like you know that there have been times where I've like actually like full on cried though.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I've never had that happen in person. I've never been in a moment where I was like so like, you know, excited or happy for someone that I cried with them, or so, well, other like
Other
other
than
than
with
like
you.
one time with, or a few times with you where you've been really upset and it makes me upset, but like there's never been another person that I've seen. I've been around people crying that have been upset, and I've never been like crying with them. Like I'm like, oh, that sucks, I'm sorry, and like pat on the back, but like I've never.
Yeah, but even then, like, I think it's okay if you don't, like, show that emotion.
A lot of the time I don't feel it either. I'm like, well, this sucks, and it's awkward too, but it's
Yeah.
like I have the same feeling of like I don't want to be here,
Yeah.
like especially if it's like you're really the only person that I would want to be in that situation with, because I want to be there for you. But like anybody else, I'm like, I want to be here dealing with you. Like no offense to you, I don't want you to be sad, but I don't want to have to be the person to console you.
Yeah. And that's how I feel with, like, everything. And it's like, and I'm, like, I don't empathize with people. And, like, is that a bad thing? Like, should I feel bad about it?
No, I mean, there's some people like I absolutely don't care about.
Like, there are people who would, and here's another sad thing. There are people who would consider me their friends. There are people who would consider me, like, very good friends, very close friends, one of their best friends, and I would not cry at their funeral. I would not be sad, genuinely sad, if they died. And I know that's a horrible thing to say. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think you would be upset, but I could see you being sad or upset for a few of your friends, but I don't think you'd cry. Like, I mean, of course you're jaded and coarse after what you've been through.
That is true. I think
That might be why, because it's like I've experienced worse loss than this. I'm not gonna be upset over this.
And I think that's another reason why I don't empathize with people, and why I don't, you know, get close to people, is I think because I think I've just learned it to be a coping mechanism. And I think that that's just what my brain decided to do as a response to my mother's death, is we will no longer allow ourselves to get close to someone. We will no longer allow ourselves to feel for other people, because if we form that bond and attachment with someone else and something happens to them, we have to experience this feeling over again. And this feeling right now sucks so bad that we don't want to feel this ever again. So therefore we will not feel for anyone ever. And we will pick our one person to latch all of our feelings onto. Which is not good either. And I recognize that, but
it's not good because then if something happens to that one person, then it's like you have nothing, and it's like that's not a good coping mechanism.
I know. I haven't mastered the coping mechanisms, but it's weird because it's like I'm doing really well, and I've always been really good at self-evaluation in terms of I know why I feel this way, I know why I think this way, and I know why I do the things that I do. I don't know how to fix it. I've tried things. I don't know what to do about it. Like, I don't know. So, yeah. Like, one thing that is, it's weird because it's like, so in my therapy, I know this is gonna be really long, and I'll put a timestamp, probably in the title of this video for people who want to just kind of skip to like an actual communication podcast like thing.
Yeah, no, the title of this video is just gonna be Vlogmas
Read timestamps.
podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, in my therapy sessions, you know, we talk about just, you know, general things, how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, whatever. And I'm really good at, you know, kind of deciphering like why I feel certain ways and why I do certain things. And, you know, I even, you know, realize certain things about like, you know, maybe I, you know, didn't think about it this way, but this is another angle to why I am this way. But another thing that's recently been happening, which is really hard because we've been talking about in my sessions like my ADHD symptoms and my dissociative symptoms, but she asked me, you know, well, how long have you noticed this? Like, is this a recent thing, or is this like have you had this like all your life? And it's hard for me to pinpoint that because I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, I can't think that far back into specific feelings, you know? Because like, and the other thing too is like, yeah, maybe I did feel that way, but maybe I didn't recognize that as an issue or as a distraction or as a, you know, problem in my day-to-day life, and maybe I thought it was normal, and maybe I thought everyone feels this way, and so I didn't think anything of it, so I just kind of brushed it aside and I forgot about that moment. And then she asked me about it now, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. Trying to look back on feelings without
context.
Well,
Really?
not without context, without looking for them in the moment. Looking back on it, you don't. It's so incredibly hard. Like, I'm trying to think of how I felt like during my grandmother's funeral, the one that I actually had like some sort of connection with, the one whose house we went to every year for Christmas, and granted I was 14, so a little over 10 years ago, but like I don't remember feeling horribly upset or like I think I was probably sad, but I don't remember it, and I don't remember. I just remember feeling more upset for my dad and my uncle. Like I wasn't upset for me, or I wasn't sad that she died. I was just sad that they were sad. I guess. I think. I don't know. I don't remember because I'm not at the time. I wasn't trying to remember how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to analyze how I was feeling at that moment.
Yeah, so I think that sorry, I hope there's not a weird echo from my mic and him sitting across the room and also coming through Discord, but if there is, I'm sorry. But I think that, like, one of the things that I was thinking about bringing up to my therapist in our next session next week, is this feeling that I get very often, which I'm trying to determine right now I'm in this process of self-evaluation where I'm trying to determine the cause of it. So I get these like extreme episodes of like zoning out, and I've been noticing them more often.
I feel like they've been getting worse. Like I don't. Well, I feel like they've been getting worse, but I don't know if they have been getting worse or if like I've just been noticing what
Right.
it is more.
Right, and that's the other thing too, is like I don't know if it's always been like this and I'm just
But I-
noticing it as an issue more often.
But like before, like when we first started dating, or even when we were just friends, I never noticed you zoning out like that. But like,
Yeah, and it's
I don't know.
really weird because I don't know why. Like I don't know why. So I've narrowed it down to a couple of things. So 3 things. One is either just so here's what I hold on. I'm gonna back up a little bit. So I started looking up into OSDD, which is otherwise specified dissociative disorder. So there's DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, which is where you have alters and we have a friend who has DID, and I did a lot of just like deep diving. We know someone with DID. Jay and
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. So we have a friend who she has DID, and
Like we don't hang out with them that often.
we don't.
So
But they're nice
forgot.
people.
Yeah, I never. What does that have to do with it? I didn't say anything about them not being. I was just saying we didn't hang out with them that often. We've hung out with them what 3 times.
Yeah, but we like them. They're
Yeah.
not like good friends of ours, you know. They're not like super close friends of ours, but like we like them and they're nice people. But yeah, so one of them has DID, and before we met them and had that information given to us, I'd done a lot of deep diving on YouTube just about it, and because I was curious and it popped up and I just started doing.
But it was also something you do that thing where you got like super into multitasking where you do one thing on your one monitor and then just have a video playing in your other monitor, and like it was always like for 2 weeks straight it's just DID videos on your second monitor. I look over and that's all it ever was.
Yeah.
It's like the same 2 or 3 different people talking about it.
Yeah, and I don't know why I get into this like hyper focus mode of like I find one particular thing that I'm really interested in and I get really not like obsessed, but it's just like that's the only thing that I think about or that I like watch or listen to or
I do the same thing, like you go through phases, like
yeah.
I always go back to like I have the same rotation of phases, but like I'll be heavily into Star Wars for a while, and then I'll be heavily into Pokemon or whatever, and then and then I don't get burnt out on it, but then I just rotate and but that you do the same thing where you get super. You don't think you rotate though. You just get super into things and you jump to the next thing when you get bored.
Yeah, so I do that. But anyway, so I was looking into that because I started noticing the way that I was feeling. And I started like having questions about it, and this is, you know, my self-evaluate. I'm like I said, I'm really good at self-evaluating. So I was asking myself all these questions about like what is it that I'm feeling specifically, and why am I not necessarily why am I feeling this way, but like what are my physical symptoms of this feeling, and how can I put that into like a definition term. And so I remember DID, and I remember that, you know, I don't have that. I know for a fact that I don't have that. But I remember OSDD, which is otherwise specified dissociative disorder, which is similar, and there's OSDD-A and OSDD-B, and I can't go into super specific details about it because, again, I'm still kind of new in this area. And then I came across depersonalization and derealization disorder. So derealization is the one that I guess identify with the most.
The one you self-prescribed.
Yes, pretty much. And here, you know what, let me just pull it up just for shits and giggles.
If we're gonna do stuff like this more often, you really need a much better directional mic.
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Because like your Blue Yeti and your Razer are very omnidirectional. They pick up everything. Whereas my mic,
I should just get your mic.
yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, I should just buy your mic off of Amazon.
Yeah, everybody hearing this, how buttery smooth my voice is. This was like a $45 like mic on Amazon. It came with the microphone, the boom arm, whatever the hell it's called, the shock absorber mount, a little amp, and yeah, it was like 45 bucks. I don't know the name, sorry.
It's okay.
I think it's Toner or something like that. TONOR kit. I don't know. Anyway, I'll make your camera smaller so you can.
Well, I was just gonna. I'm trying to like. Yeah, I'll make it smaller. Here I am. Hello.
Yeah, if there is an echo, it's because I'm coming through both my mic and hers.
Yes, that is correct. Move me over a little bit because I'm kind of off center. So yeah, so as I've been doing research and things like that, I came across this, and it says, and I don't identify with depersonalization because it says depersonalization involves feeling detached from one's body, feelings, mind, or sensations. So they feel like disconnected to their body. Like when people have out of body experiences and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like when I feel like it happens a lot when you're dreaming, or that's when a lot of people report it, at least.
Yeah, whereas derealization involves feeling detached from surroundings, like people, objects, or everything, which seem unreal. So, and this first line is literally the things that I feel. It says people may feel as if they are in a dream or a fog, or as if a glass wall or a veil separates them from their surroundings. So I noticed this feeling a lot. I know that it's really odd because like it feels like if you think and you see like with the forefront of your brain, like I don't know how brains work, okay, but this is how I visualize like how my brain is working, okay? So like your eyes are in the front of your head, you're thinking with your like the forefront of your conscious, like everything is forward in your mindset. But then when I get this feeling, it's like you take my eyeballs and you just shove them to like the back of my head, and everything is like back here.
Yeah, I think it's because you're no longer focusing on the visuals and you're just thinking in your head. You're not your visual stimulus isn't being used as much, and you're just thinking about whatever you happen to be thinking about.
But it's weird because it's like I don't think about anything. Like it's really weird because it's like I can't figure out a trigger for it. Like I can't figure out like, you know, like I mapped out today kind of like, you know, when it starts and when it ends type of thing, because I have been noticing at least the past few days that it'll start in the morning and it will go until about lunchtime, maybe like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock ish, and it's just like this really odd feeling where like when we were in the car, it was a really like prominent moment, I guess, because we were sitting there and it's like I can still see everything that's happening, I can still hear everything that's happening, like all the outside things, all the outside stimuli that are happening I'm aware of.
Yeah, you're zoned out.
Yeah, it's just like I'm not like present. And it's weird too because it's like I recognize that. Like in the moment I'm like I'm like not here. I'm not focused on anything. And I know that, but I can't find out how to not do that.
Yeah, like the only way I can think of it is like to the word to help me understand. The only way I can understand it is like when I go into autopilot while driving sometimes. Like it doesn't happen when you're in the car. But yeah, when you go into a lot of people experience it where you go into autopilot and you just drive and you're like, crap, did I stop at any of those 4 red lights that were those green or were they red? Did I stop at them?
Because it's like you don't like, you know that obviously like you followed the laws and whatever because like you're alive and you haven't gotten a wreck, you haven't gotten pulled over, but you can't remember that. Like you can't like consciously remember like that stop sign back there or that stoplight back there. And so
I mean, I just know the reason for that is because it's such a like, especially if it's
so
like
monotonous. and it's very like.
Not even that, if it's like your daily route, like it's just you know it so well that your brain's like nothing ever important happens on this trip in this area or in these areas. So we can disregard that information because we have other information we need to store or think of or do whatever. It's like I can remember the trips to the beach, or if I go somewhere, I never zone out. Like if I go somewhere I haven't been before, I don't zone out on the drive there. Unless it's on the highway. Very, very rarely I'll zone out on the highway. But even then, like I only ever zone out if I'm like going to my parents or like when I was living with my parents going to work.
Yeah. And so basically, hold on, I was trying to find.
Like I notice when you do it, and you generally do it when I'm talking to you about something you don't care about.
Well, that is true. So I do find that like when it's at its peak, when it's at its worst, I'll get this feeling too, almost like I'm gonna like lose consciousness, but I know that I'm not. But it's like I feel so far like from reality that I feel like, you know, at any moment I'm like I can just fall over and I wouldn't know because I'm so not present. But I do notice that if it's something that I'm not interested in, it's really easy for me to do that. And it's really easy and it's not that I want to. That's the other thing that's really frustrating about it too, is like I recognize that I'm doing it, but I don't know how to snap out of it. Like I don't know how to ground myself in that sense. And like I've done all these things, like I have all these grounding techniques and things at my disposal.
Technique.
But I do them and it doesn't like work. Like the only thing that I can do, the closest thing that helps me that I've found is like fresh air is really good, especially when it's cold outside. Like that's one thing where it's like
a shock to the system.
Yeah, because it's like it's cold outside.
You tried cold water to the face. You try that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I noticed it seems to help.
Like cold things, I don't know what it is. Cold things are really good. Like I tend to drink more water because I get this weird feeling of like the cold is now inside me and it'll free up whatever is stuck.
It's giving you stimulation as well, like in different, you know, in a new area. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but or like I snap you out of it. Like it usually happens if I'm trying to explain something to you that. Like, if you don't care about it and it's not important, I just stop explaining it.
I know, and I feel bad.
If you do, like, if you don't care about it, but it is important and it's not something like a game or whatever, I'm trying to explain something important to you, I stop what I'm saying is go hello, and I, like, do the thing where I, like, touch the sides of your face and get you to look at me, like, hey, welcome back. And that usually you're like, what? I'm like, hi. I've been here telling you things. I've been mansplaining.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like I have like when it starts I don't realize that I'm doing it until it gets to a point where then I'm like, oh shit. and I've noticed too that that's another thing that I'll do is I'll like blink real hard and I'll like try to like
take it off.
Yeah, but it never works. That never works. But I'm trying to like grasp reality again, and I'm like, come on, brain, let's do things. And I try to do things and like focusing on like the environment in terms of like I try to like count things. I try to notice colors of things. I try to notice smells of things. But it's like
I think the physical helps you a lot more.
Yeah. Because
like going out and, you know, when you said like breathing fresh air, especially if it's cold, or drinking cold water, that's all physical stimuli that I think that helps a lot more. Like when I touch you on your cheeks, it's more physical stimuli than trying to think of something, you know, count something, because then that's all still in your head where you have the fog anyway.
Yeah. So I feel like that's one area where I'm like, so the whole point of this was I've been having these experiences and I've been noticing them more often. I've been noticing the fact that they're more frequent, they're longer, and to me getting worse in a sense. But I'm trying to determine So with depersonalization, derealization, in order for that to be a diagnosis, all other options, this has to be like the best explanation for what you're feeling in terms of like it can't be caused by, you know, other traumas, PTSD, anxiety, major depressive disorder, all of that stuff. So if you can rule all of those out, then this is your best like diagnosis.
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
Over there.
And yeah, pretty much. And so that's what I'm trying to determine at this point is this what it is? Is the derealization, you know, derealization, or is it just a side effect of whatever else I have in my brain? You know?
It's a side effect of your depression or anxiety.
Right, because
That's something you already know that you have and are prescribed with. Is it just presenting in a different way?
Okay, oh my god. Let me just tell you. So I've been on this page for a while, and I'm sorry I haven't read anything from it. But here's the causes, okay? Depersonalization derealization disorder often develops in people who have experienced severe stress, including the following: being emotionally abused or neglected during childhood, being physically abused, witnessing domestic violence, having had a severely impaired or mentally ill parent, having a loved one die unexpectedly.
Yeah. A lot of that sounds like just the same triggers that people not triggers, but the same things that trigger people to have DID.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you've experienced some of those, and then the unexpected death, though. I don't. Could you say it was unexpected?
I mean, it's hard for me to say that because as an adult, the answer would be no, but as a child, I think to me that was never an option.
You didn't realize, like you it's like that thing you like to say a lot, where logically you knew it could happen, but you didn't think it was going to.
Right. It was like logically in my brain, obviously that was a possibility, but to me
But
as a
it
kid,
wasn't.
it wasn't. Like
Yeah.
your parents, they get sick, they get better. Like no matter how sick they get better. And to me, I was like, this is, and because she had been sick like that before, you know, she had been in and out of the hospital and she always came back home. And to me, I was like, this is just another time where this happens and then it'll be fine and then she'll come back home. So I think for me, at least at that age, it was not expected. At least I wasn't prepared for that experience. So.
Yeah, and I think the issue of you not being there when it happened too is also could be causing some things, because it's like, you know, you see her and she's alive, and then the next time you see her she's not, and it's like you weren't there for that transition.
Mm-hmm. And
If that makes any sense, like that could be pretty jarring.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't violent, it could be jarring.
Yeah, and I think for a while I kind of went through this phase of like I had this understanding, like, yeah, she's passed and she's not coming back, but I had this odd feeling of like, because I always kept having these reoccurring dreams that, you know, my mom was still alive, but she had just been away for a really long time. And there were even times where it's like she was still sick, but she was still alive. And I keep having, and I haven't had one in a while, but I've had reoccurring dreams of like she'll come back and it's just because she's been gone for a really long time and no one told me, and it's like she just kind of like went off the grid and then
You needed some me time.
yeah, basically. And it's like she just like
Children are hard.
they are. And so she came, you know, back, and I remember like being really excited but also really confused because I was like, but wait, you're not alive. But she was there. And so I think because I wasn't there when she passed, my brain was like, maybe.
Possibility. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, is like,
Right.
you weren't there for that transitional point of like seeing it happen, so you just like, she was alive and then she wasn't.
Yeah, and so
it's
my brain
like-
was like, maybe that person in the coffin isn't her. Maybe she just disappeared somewhere else. And I don't know, and it's weird. It's like it's a weird thing that the brain does to try to like keep you sane, and then it fucks you over because it gives you problems later in life.
I don't know if it does it to try and keep you sane.
I think it does it as like a trying to keep you alive, as like a survival skill of like if we, like, I think the brain is like, okay, this big thing is happening right now. We have to put all of our focus and energy into this really big thing because it's super important, and we'll deal with the processing part of it later, but we have to do action things right now. Like, we have to, like, physically do things and be, like, here in this moment to, like, take care of the things that need to be taken care of, and then we'll process the emotional part of it later. Or the brain gets so overwhelmed with the emotional aspect of it that it's like we need to do something, or else if we continue to be so caught up in these emotions, we'll die. Like, I think that's like the brain's response to like trauma, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, I don't know.
I like computers more than organic mush things that work like computers.
Yeah.
Computers are simple in comparison.
In the grand scheme of things, computers are so much easier to understand, and
it does things for a reason, and you can fix it by. It's very easy to, not very easy, but there's clear reasons for computers doing things. The human brain's dumb.
It is dumb, and it's so dumb, but it's so crazy, and it's so incredibly complex, and it's so confusing, and it's like, why? But this has been going on for way too long, and I am so sorry, and our food is probably cold regardless of the fact that we brought it in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've been looking at you and like trying to get you to notice me, like rubbing my belly, like trying to get you to notice that I'm hungry, but no, it's fine.
Because your legs have been up, and I'm sorry. You can eat, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's like 9:30, and I just have to go to work tomorrow. So here's another late one. I'm so sorry. If you're interested in us starting a podcast, though, like, that's been an idea that's been kind of floating around in my head.
It'll be mostly you talking.
Pretty much.
About yourself.
I can talk about other things. Like, I can come up with topics and things like that, and we can have a discussion about it. I don't care. But it's been something that's been on my mind, and I kind of want to do it. But anyway, I'm going to end it here because it's been a hot minute, and I am, again, so sorry for the clusterfuck that this video was. But I hope you found some sort of enjoyment in some part of it, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, go down below, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified of whenever I upload videos, and so far I haven't missed a day, even though this video was kind of a cheat day, so I'm really sorry about that, but I'll see you tomorrow. Bye! I gotta end the stream. Where's my mousey movie?